Welcome back to Online Tools Master. In Part 1, we explored the basic grid styles like solid, dashed, and dotted line grids using PNG Grid Maker, the world's simplest online PNG grid generator created by Browserling. Today, in Part 2, we're diving into more creative grid styles, including crosshair grids, artistic dotted grids, and even simulated grid lines using spacing effects. To access this tool, open your browser, search for onlinepngtools.com, and navigate to PNG Grid Maker. Now, let's explore 3 advanced examples in action. Example 1. Cross-shaped grid. Here is the input where we designed a grid with crosshair separators placed at the edges of each cell. The grid contains 12 rows and 12 columns. Each cell is 40 pixels wide and 60 pixels high, creating rectangular cells. We filled the cells with a lavender color. The grid line width was set to 2 pixels, and the grid line color was set to dark slate blue. We selected crosshair grid as the style and set the crossline length to 20 pixels. The gap between grid cells was set to 0. Padding around the grid was set to 10 pixels. And the background color was also set to lavender for a seamless design. The result is a structured grid with crosshair reticles dividing each cell. This layout is ideal for 2D game maps, level editors, and creative layout planning. Click Save as to download the result. Example 2. Artistic dot-shaped grid. Here is the input where we created a bold, artistic 6x6 grid. The grid has 6 rows and 6 columns. Each cell is 150 pixels wide and 150 pixels high. We filled the cells with RGB 46, 46, 46, which is a dark gray tone. The grid line width was set to 10 pixels and the grid line color was set to silver. We selected dotted grid as the style. The gap between grid cells was set to 0. Padding around the grid was set to 30 pixels, and the background color was set to RGB 18, 18, 18, a deep black shade. The result is a high-contrast artistic grid with silver dots placed at the corners of each cell. This style is perfect for creative layouts, portfolio designs, futuristic UI mockups, and artistic templates. Click Save as to download the result. Example 3. Cell spacing simulated grid lines. Here is the input where we created a 20x20 cell grid without explicitly drawing visible grid lines. The grid has 20 rows and 20 columns. Each cell is 20 pixels wide and 20 pixels high. We filled the cells with seashell color. The grid line width was set to 5 pixels, but the grid line color was set to transparent so the lines are not visible. We selected solid line grid as the style. The gap between grid cells was set to 0. Padding around the grid was set to 5 pixels, and the background color was set to bisque. Because the grid lines are transparent, the bisque background shows through between the cells, creating the illusion of visible grid lines. This clever technique allows you to simulate grid separators using contrast instead of actual lines. Click Save as to download the result. Before we wrap up, remember that PNG Grid Maker gives you complete flexibility, from traditional line grids to artistic dotted layouts, and even creative grid illusions using transparency. Also, don't forget to check out Part 1 of PNG Grid Maker and Digital Stamp Maker for more powerful and easy-to-use tools. Try PNG Grid Maker yourself at onlinepngtools.com. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Online Tools Master for more quick and powerful tool tutorials.